Hey folks, welcome back to another mod overview as part of the Red Alert anniversary celebrations. I hope you're all having a good time so far. For this mod we're going to be checking out v14.1. So this is essentially a overhaul in terms of the rules, art and AI INI files within the game. To get set up and running with this, there's a couple of extra steps just so you're aware of it. Step 1, make sure you have a local install of Yuri's Revenge on your machine. Step 2, it's advisable that you get the CNCnet patch client for it. If you're not familiar with how to get access to that, there is access on the actual mod DB page here itself. You can click on that and it'll give you straight down to the download and play online option. In addition to that, you will then just need to download version 14.1 of VVS_INI and move it into your local Yuri's Revenge install, and you should be good to go from there on. It is fairly straightforward if you want to verify that you have it up and running okay, because it does look identical to the existing CNCnet client. The fastest way to do that is to fire up a skirmish, and if you can build a refinery without placing a power plant, then you know you are on the right track. In terms of what's actually included with this mod, as I say, it's a huge overhaul of the rules, art and AI. If you want to check out some of the existing resources on it, you can by all means check out the YouTube channel here from D.U.N.E and then they also have a Bilibili channel. If you're not familiar with Bilibili, it's sort of like the Asian equivalent of YouTube, so definitely go and check that out too. So there's plenty of resources up on this, so some interesting matches and map showcases and stuff from the actual authors of the mod itself, so do be sure to check those out. In terms of what's actually included for version 14, which is the most recent version currently up, they've made a couple of modifications, so you get a kind of an idea for what's included with this mod. Like, they have a huge amount of changes overall. Like, the thing features 550 plus AI trigger scripts, 2500 plus art entries, and a complete overhaul for every individual unit in the rules file. As they claim themselves, it's INI modding at its finest, so pretty much everything has been touched within this mod itself. Trying to determine what is and what has not been touched is a little bit tricky. I've been trying to track down a changelog for the entire mod. I guess you could go manually into the rules.ini and look through that yourselves. If I find anything more relevant to it, I'll be sure to link it down below in the video description. But just so you get kind of a feel for some of the most recent changes that they've made, we can have a look at the patch notes here before diving into the game client. Some general changes you can see here. They've enabled force shield support power. It's unlocked pre-T3 tech. They've increased wall HP. They've changed it so tech airfield power drops no longer veterans. On the allied side, they added a command center upgrade for the Allied Air Force HQ. Costs 850 power and provides force shield support power. So it's kind of, you know, these little tweaks make a big difference in the actual game side of things, and alters the meta for how you're actually going to play the game. They added the USA command upgrade for USA, replaces this, gives both force shield and airborne support powers. USA secret drones have improved targeting range, so USA airborne support power cooldown time is decreased, Navy SEAL primary weapon effectiveness is decreased, Patriot missile AA weapons warhead percent at max is increased, German tank destroyers turn speed is decreased, French Grand Cannon can now unpack into mobile Grand Cannon. So they have done some pretty drastic changes with some of this stuff. It's pretty interesting. Repair IFV's weapon effectiveness is decreased, Nighthawk's transport turn speeds decreased, weapons warhead effectiveness is decreased. So that's kind of like the Allied side for the most recent changes. For the Soviet side, nuclear missile no longer penetrates tank bunker. They removed enemy spotter weapon and spy plane support. They added component upgrade for Soviet radar towers, spy plane support, added electric arc animation for Terror Drone's melee attack weapon. They fixed Terror Drone's elite melee weapon, missing bonus rate of fire. Deployed Terror Drone can now be charged by Tesla Trooper Warmonger. Now, obviously this is brand new. This isn't something that's default enabled into the game, so we'll definitely have a look at that. Charged Chaos Weapons Warhead can affect 3x3 vehicles. Duration decreased from 70 to 20. So, kind of cool. Soviet Spy decreased price. War Miner's effectiveness against infantries is increased. Libyan demo truck size is increased. The Yuri side of the factions, the psychic sensors cost decreased. Psychic detection radius decreased. Deployability shred radius decreased. Grinder's cost is decreased. Yuri's clone masters in-game titles changed to Warmonger. Yuri's spy deployability effectiveness. Yuri's static turn rates change. Mastermind is no longer immune to Omni Crash. Other changes: AI now treats heroes, miners, MCVs, capital ships as VIP units. AI will send response forces when these units are under attack. Miscellaneous animates, SE adjustments, brutal and medium AI tend to build more miners. They added one more Cradoni Easter egg unit, a carry-all repair wing, a flying support unit with dual repair beams. Maybe we'll get to see that. It will depend on our RNG. They fixed the allied Conyard missing active animation, and they fixed the miners built by AI, sometimes getting stuck in a script loop. So yeah, this is just like kind of a flavor for like some of the changes that they've implemented, but there's a huge amount aside of this too. As I say, they've done a huge amount to the rules art. What was the third one? The rules art and AI changes, so it definitely behaves a lot differently, and we'll see that as soon as we pop into the game. Before we do that though, just a quick look in the files section here. You can actually get the latest release here and put it into your local Yuri's Revenge install as mentioned with the CNCnet patch on it. There are a series of maps here too. I'll be demonstrating some of these in game just to show them off a little bit, so you can have a feel for how they play like. You may as well, since they're here up on the page. You can put these into your local installs custom folder under maps and you'll be able to play them. You'll see in game whereabouts to find them. It's fairly straightforward. It should be interesting to check this out. Another thing that I did mention before we hop in is that the default settings for some of the structures and units and things are different. So for example, when you build a refinery, you don't actually start, it seems like with like a chrono miner or a war miner, you get some infantry picking the stuff by hand. So that's kind of like the level of changes that you can expect with this mod. So we're going to now go over to the game client and check out some of the actual gameplay itself. Alright, so here we are over in the Yuri's Revenge game client. It looks identical to the CNCnet one, so if you're familiar with that, this is going to be pretty much no change here. But we're going to go into skirmishes so we can test out some of the changes with this mod. In order to try out some of the custom maps, I have to change the drop down here. By default it starts on battle. There's a whole bunch of options in here as is standard with the CNCnet client. If you go to standard, you should be able to access the custom maps in your local install if you have downloaded these. As I say, they're up on the ModDB page if you are curious, so we're going to try out a few of these, see how they play. There's a whole bunch of factions in this game, so we're unlikely going to go through all of these because there's quite a few. We might go like through 2 or 3 of each of the sub factions and then try out Yuri and see how they handle against the AI. We're going to be primarily going up against, we'll try medium AI. Usually I tend to do it on the easy AI just as we're talking through and explaining some things, but because everything's been touched a little bit and it's not necessarily like complete unit changes and structures swapped out and stuff like that, it's better to just see it in actual gameplay. So we're going to go through it, just playing a few games, see how it plays out, see what's different, see what feels the same, just so you get a feel for what's going on. There's a whole bunch of default settings. I believe these are all coming with CNCnet by default, so you can turn on Redux 2 Classic, Yuri's Revenge Rebalance, etc. We're just going to leave it as it is. We're not going to change any of the default settings. We might, just for expediency, bump up the starting credits. Let's go, 100,000. This is just to like speed it up the process of getting all the structures down and actually being able to attack the opponent. Currently going to play it on faster, and with that in mind, I think we should be good to go. So let's launch.
Packed up and ready.
By default here, CNCnet client, I'm playing it on 1920 by 1080 res as well. You can see there's a little bit of a glow coming off the power plant too, so that's kind of cool. You can tell again the mods installed because I can build the refinery and the racks before power plant. You can also see the pricing on this stuff is wildly different. So power plant costing 900, the racks costing 750, and the refinery costing 3000. So stuff's a lot more expensive.
Construction complete. New construction options.
We can still have the basic defensive structures like a pillbox, Patriot missile. We can build some GIs, attack dogs.
Unit ready. Construction complete.
You can see the UI is a little bit different, so when you click here, like, it gives you a little tile confirmation. I'm not sure if that's default in the current CNCnet client or not, but it is a little change to be aware of.
Construction complete.
We get a refinery down, and as mentioned earlier, by default you don't get chrono miners, instead you get these technicians that come out of it, which is an interesting idea. You can, however, build chrono miners, so we will be doing that. Get our pillbox down. Another interesting change, if I select the Conyard, you can see this build radius. This is basically what the build area that you can have within, so you can build off your structures up to this point, and then you can't build outside of it unless you move your Conyard. So it's something to be aware of.
Construction complete. Unit lost. New construction options.
Oof, I'm not sure what was going on there. It's pretty crazy. We have the war factory now, so we'll build a couple of chrono miners. We'll get some grizzly tanks out. Couple of IFVs, probably want 1 or 2 Guardian GIs in case they send some vehicles our way, and we'll get an Air Force Command. So it's pretty cool. I mean, Ori 2 has, you know, always been a pretty fun game to play through. You can see some of the AI behavior here. They're getting an early seal, it looks like. So the tech tree might have changed quite a bit. It's a little bit worrying seeing all this here. Maybe it'll be okay. You see the veterancy there on the dog tends to be a lot faster than it might be in the default game. We'll get some power set up. And here come the tanks. What else are we going to go for? Battle Lab? Battle Lab's usually good. I can build a Mirage tank here without actually getting the Battle Lab first, which is very different to, you know, the base Ori 2 functionality. So it's worth noting. We can build Navy SEALs too. They're 750, Rocketeers 550. So like the pricing and everything is like totally different. Which is interesting. I mean, if you're going to mod it, they're definitely doing a lot of work by changing all the rule.ini file settings. For those not familiar, like the rule.ini tends to be like this big text file that determines like the damage output. There's like things like the damage output of the units, like what assets it has, what abilities it has, so you can like change the projectiles or the warhead types and any of this kind of thing. Mirage tanks there doing some good work. They seem to have like a beam type ability now rather than like that single shot. So that's kind of different, worth noting. Probably want to get a second war factory, although that's going to knock me low power. So I have full vision of the map now. They're sending in Harriers, so they're actually, the AI is actually being pretty aggressive with its playstyle here. Coming in with some of its own units. Nice, the IFV is coming in handy. What else we got? I guess a seal or two. We have the Rocketeers over here. Rocketeers I think have a different fire animation as well. It's pretty cool. Prison Tower, I guess we'll make sure we're powered up enough before we get too much of this going on. We want to get more war factories to increase our build speed. We get the 4 Harriers, we have the cash for it. There's no reason not to. You can see the AI has built a gap generator. They're playing as France, it looks like. Get the Chrono Miner to warp back while we send in our units here to take out the enemy. Do you want to get the Ore Purifier down? Get a brief look at that, see how it's handling. We also seem to have the vision here when it comes in within the, I guess it's within the Conyard reach. It shows which direction they're coming from or where they're going, what they're planning to target, so that's definitely different. I wonder if that might be a perk of the spy satellite uplink. Yeah, so anything within this radius that's under attack is going to show up on the radar. That's kind of cool. Not sure if that was in the original. This day it's been quite a while. Then of course we have the Navy SEALs here, going to be able to do some heavy hitting. We'll get our Ore Purifier down. Nice. Get a robot control center and get a weather machine. See what the super weapons are like. I'm not sure how balanced they are, whether or not it will like absolutely one-shot my base. We'll probably see the AI attack me with the super weapons before I get a chance to retaliate. So that'll be definitely interesting. Robot control center, so it should give us access to robot tanks, which it does. Cool. Probably want to get a couple of IFVs before getting the robot tanks up. Change our target direction to over here. At the map itself, it's pretty cool. It's interesting. You know, you got the bottom right and the top left tech facilities. Get the engineering here. See if we can take over this tech center. We should be able to garrison structures as before. Oof. Might need to get a couple of Guardian GIs over here to help protect the ore. Nice. I guess it'll be interesting to see. I don't think that we'll be able to build off the detect arcs because again we have this setup of the Conyard build radius, but we'll test it just to make sure.
Construction complete.
Yeah, so you can see here I can't build off it, which is fine.
Cannot deploy here.
Bottom right, it still indicates the super weapons we're using, so that's cool.
Unit ready.
I'll spread these out a little bit, get them deployed.
Training.
We have a couple of the robot tanks here, so you can see what the kind of fire rate looks like on them. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit different. Like a lot of these changes tend to be like quite minor tweaks, but when you put them all together, like it totally changes the game on a a fundamental meta level in terms of what you're going to prioritize and structure, how you're going to optimize your eco, what kind of build order you're going to go. So it's going to be different towards what the standard Red Alert 2 Yuri's Revenge is currently like on CNCnet. So it's a fun way to have like a kind of renewed experience, if you like, of what the multiplayer is like if you've been playing it online for quite a while and you're like, oh well, what if this balance change happened or this balance change happened, you know? It's a fun way to try that out. I guess we'll get Tanya.
Warning. Chronosphere detected.
Ooh, Harrier's absolutely wrecking that Chrono MCV miner. Interestingly, I don't think I can build these technician guys that go back and forth from the Conyard. I have to like build another refinery to do that. If I want to do it, that is. Here's the battle fortress. Should work as it usually does.
Construction complete.
Guardian GI. So battle fortress tend to be able to put units inside of it and kick ass with it.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Cool. Vehicles here are doing alright. They're not doing
Building.
a huge amount of good damage, but
Unit promoted.
the AI is being interesting in terms of what it's doing, what it's sending my way attack-wise. I mean, it's walling off its structures here to avoid spies, which I think is kind of standard expectation nowadays, but they've definitely walled up and built out quite a huge amount here, which is cool. And it looks like they're sending in a Nighthawk transport. 3 of them. Wonder if there's units in these. Or if they're just going to try and do some attack damage with them.
Ore miner under
They're just going to do some attack damage with them. Okay, okay.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Ore miner under attack. Lightning storm ready.
Pop back here, keep him alive. Lightning Storm, we'll see how heavy the damage is for this.
Target.
I guess here is good because we can actually see what's going on.
Lightning storm created. Building. Unit ready.
Nice visual effects for it.
Unit ready.
Pretty cool.
Chronosphere ready. Select target.
Chronosphere, again, different art assets. This is going on for quite a bit.
Unit ready.
Chronosphere, we want to take these guys and bring them over here.
Warning. Chronosphere activated.
Just to kind of get an idea for what the damage is like. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Unfortunately, we're not going to get that unless we send in the Harriers to finish it off.
Warning. Lightning storm.
There is something also nice just about playing some, base Ore 2.
Unit ready.
Well, I mean, it's not base Ore 2, but it's very similar in nature.
Repairing. Unit lost.
Ooh, lost my my spy satellite there. That's gonna hurt.
Low power. Unit lost. Robot tanks offline. Unit lost.
Oof. Robot tanks offline without power.
New construction options.
Always a little bit rough.
Rally point established. Unit lost. Training. Unit lost.
Our guys here are alive, but just about.
Unit ready.
These are the mobile ground cannons from France, so the AI is actually equipped to use them and deploy them.
Lost.
That's a little bit terrifying,
Cannot deploy here.
but I can appreciate it. We got the Chrono guy here who's knocked it offline, so at least that's something.
Unit ready.
IFVs, we want to get more war factories to increase our build rate. It's quite slow, and we want to get our radar back online.
Unit lost.
But yeah, it's pretty fun.
Ready. Unit
Cool
lost.
chrono particles there too.
Unit lost.
I think we might die here, which would be unfortunate, but I think we've gotten a good feel anyway in terms of what's
Ore miner
What sort of change for the factions and how this plays a little bit?
Our base is under attack. Unit
Cool that we got to see the mobile cannons as well. Tanya there able to use C4 on tanks, it looked like.
miner under attack. Building. New construction options.
Zip back. Zip back. There we go. Ooh, very close.
Unit ready.
Some cool effects here, like the storm crowd over the
Under attack.
over the specific structures and units.
Under attack. Unit lost. Construction complete. Ore miner under attack.
So you can see that they sent in a battle fortress here. We've been thankfully able to take care of it.
Ready. Construction complete.
Get another war factory down. Get some IFVs up.
Unit
Get the
lost.
Patriot missiles down.
Repairing.
Get try to get our radar fixed, I guess.
Unit ready.
Ooh, that's not good.
Training.
Some more Guardian GIs down. So like it's a pretty good challenge. Like the AI is definitely trying a few different things. It's not just doing one basic attack, and it's being persistent with its use of super weapons too, which is, you know, good for him, I guess.
Building.
But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Unit lost.
I think that's a good look at the, you know, kind of the base American side. We'll probably go over towards the Soviets next. So let's hop on out of here. GG's.
Battle control terminated.
Alright, so next up we're going to try is the Soviets. We'll try out this D.U.N.E map, see how it handles. We'll go with the same settings, and we'll launch straight into it. See how we get on. Looks like we're going as the green Soviets. We're spawning on the top right side of the map. Cool. Again, we have this build radius around the start, and you seem to be able to build anywhere within here, which is kind of the trade-off, so long as you've got vision of the area, right?
Building.
Which is interesting because once you hit this limit, you're then kind of forced to move your convoy, which is a more modern style approach towards base building in kind of competitive RTS type games.
Building. Training.
At least for the CNC franchise, I think a lot of the you know, a lot of the like open area community tournaments and stuff like that require mobile base building on for that purpose, and they tend to have the restricted build radius stuff on by default, and in quite a few of their mods at least. So it's interesting to see the decision to go with it here. I'm going to spam a lot of units because I'm a little bit afraid of the AI. Not gonna lie, even if it's only a normal, they are definitely not to be messed with too much.
Unit ready.
Yeah, we should try to get some vision. Oh, here he comes. It looks like we're against some fellow Soviets.
New rally point. Construction complete.
Get the war factory down.
Building. Faster. Unit ready.
So we get a second war factory down.
Unit lost.
Conscripts here chewing up the
Unit lost. New construction.
units here. It looks like the AI has gotten seal tech already, so it's going to now eat through my units.
Unit lost. On hold. Unit.
This is worrying. So this is now dead.
Unit lost.
Cool.
Cannot deploy here. Unit promoted. Ore miner under attack.
How can I deal with this?
Ore
Guess that worked. Guess the war miners saved our ass.
Unit ready. Unit
I've lost my refinery, which is not good. I think we need a lot more battle bunkers.
Unit lost. Construction complete. Structure garrison. Unit
What would be nice is if I could get tested tech. I'm guessing I probably need a radar for that.
ready. Structure garrison. Unit ready.
Which would be nice if I can get a radar. Power's low. Need to fix that.
Repairing. Ore miner under attack.
Oof, now they're coming in with the Harriers. Like, the AI does not ease up.
Unit ready. Construction complete.
Okay, Raiders now down. Get the nuclear pan for power.
Unit ready. On hold. Unit promoted.
Okay, so those bunkers seem to be absolutely essential to surviving here, or at least for my survival. Wow, I can build sentry guns now, which is a nice perk with the radar. Got a couple terror drones, should help with dealing with some of the infantry, but also vehicles. I can build flak troopers, so they'll definitely be useful for some of the Harriers that I've already seen come into play.
Construction complete.
Get get this, get this, get this. We can build Tesla tanks, and again the pricing and stuff is very different to the base game, of course. So you can see a look at some of the unit costings here. Tesla coil, yes. And even with the nuke, we're already pretty low power. Some cool arcing there as well from the Tesla tanks. So you can see it shoots, then it arcs to the next guys. Can't put the flak inside the bunker, so it's got to be just the basic conscripts, which is okay. Battle lab. Oh shit, no power. We can build Boris here. We can build a cosmonaut. It's called an eagle hunter. I'm not sure that's correct, but kind of cool. Absolute chaos right now. What is happening? A few flak tracks. I guess if you want to get a second, third war factory, our rate of unit production is quite slow. We want to get more flak troopers. So here's the cosmonaut. It's like a Tesla. It's like a cross between like a Tesla and a Prism Rocketeer. It's kind of cool. I think we definitely want to get a few more of those. The reason my production speed is so slow is because I seem to have stopped building. Whoops. Siege chopper here. Of course, we can deploy him. Get him to actually do some good damage here. Nice. Here's good old Boris. We want to get ourselves a nuke, and we want to get a lot more power. Hold the line, boys. What I want to do is move my Conyard up pretty soon as well. Once I have this nuke down, maybe. If we can deploy it like here and start to like push towards the center, might be good. We can build some crazy Ivans, of course. Spies, you can also still build. Industrial plant, we'll get that. I guess after the industrial plant and the nuke, we'll go for it. The nuke costing 5,000, Iron Curtain 2,500. Like, they're very expensive, but generally seems to be worth it. I think having a few of these V2s is actually quite helpful. So we have our nuke. Okay. What do we want here? I think we want some basic tanks. We want to get the numbers up, even though the Apocalypse tanks are pretty good in their own right. They just don't seem to be quite doing it on their own. We also need anti-air, so maybe even a bunch of flak tracks is the way to go. I think we can cancel these. Maybe we should just build a whole bunch of flak here as well. Interesting that the AI is like kind of sneaking by with a bunch of dogs and stuff to the right there too. It's pretty cool. Different. After this power plant, I guess we'll move our Conyard a little bit. Guess we'll try and move up to like this point. Of course, a couple of Kurovs are an absolute necessity when trying out Soviets in new mod. Come on, deploy! Deploy! Come on, deploy! Alright, there we go. That's deployed. We'll try and get some Tesla coils up here. And then flak tracks, of course, as well to try and reinforce it. Bring these up. Alright. So, what's the furthest edge? We can put it like up to here. Seems good.
Building.
Get a few of these. I want to get one or two here as well. Make sure they don't slip by
Unit ready.
to the various choke points in the map.
Unit ready. New round
They
established.
have somehow taken this tech derrick, so we'll take that back. We're gonna run out of cash pretty soon here, it looks like.
Unit lost.
So it's a good time to spam a whole bunch of those.
Unit ready.
Yeah, pretty fun. And you can see like the various different artifacts, like even the missiles there for the apocalypse tanks, a little bit different. The costings are kind of very much up in the air, costing different amounts for each unit compared to the base game.
Unit ready.
I guess we can try pushing to the AI and see what kind of a defensive structure they might have set up.
Unit lost.
They seem to be quite intense with their base defenses here. They've got loads of prism towers. Wow.
Unit lost. Unit promoted.
I mean, they can try take this, but I don't think we're going to be able to.
Unit lost.
Uh,
Missile ready.
oh, and we've gotten it. And of course, the nuke's ready now, so we can pop that, like, I don't know, here. Put these this way.
Nuclear missile launched.
Watch the damage the nuke does.
Our base is under
Always satisfying.
ore miner under
Very cool.
building. Ore miner under attack.
Yeah, so we want to get these over
New
here.
rally point established.
We want to get, I guess we want to get a bunch more cosmonauts.
Unit promoted.
Defenses here doing a decent job.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Very cool. This Kirov's just kind of sitting here on his ass, doing nothing.
Unit ready.
Wow, that's strong.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
It looks like they're out of power at the moment as well. If I had units, it would be a good time to attack, but I kind of don't.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Get these all over here.
Unit lost.
Guess what we really want is the rally point for these to all be here, towards the center.
Unit ready.
Get ourselves a, I guess a forward racks might be a good idea.
Building. Ore miner under attack. Unit ready. Unit
Kill this
lost.
gap generator.
Construction complete. Unit
Power.
lost.
Nice. Maybe get the barracks, stop their infantry production.
Unit
They have a
ready.
secondary Conyard here. Okay, so the AI's actually managed to build it back. That's kind of cool.
Unit lost. Cannot deploy here. Ore miner under attack. Unit lost.
Try and knock out their power.
Unit lost.
Would be nice.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Ore miner under attack. Unit
They've
ready.
got another Conyard here. Wow. This AI is persistent.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Building.
More of these cosmonauts.
Unit ready.
Nice.
Promoted.
I mean, the Kirovs seem to be absolutely wrecking the AI here. I think without power, their Patriot missiles don't fire, so if I have enough of these and I keep attacking, I might
Nuclear missile.
have this in the bag. Especially with access to the nuke tech there as well.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Damn.
Base is under attack. Unit ready.
Seem to be okay.
Unit ready.
We get the nuke action going here.
Warning. Nuclear missile launched. Unit ready.
Had a couple of chrono dudes.
Unit promoted. Our base is under attack.
Nice. And we're cutting through most of the enemy here in the middle. And these cosmonauts can shoot in the air there. We just verified, so it's very nice to know.
Repairing.
But the Kirovs seem absolutely devastating. Like,
Unit ready.
it's pretty damn cool. Not gonna lie.
Unit ready.
Nice.
Unit ready.
I guess we'll build a service depot too. just to verify, because I don't see the ability to build a con yard. I think service depot is a prereq for it in the base game.
New construction.
Yeah, Soviet MCV, so you can still build con yards and stuff like that, which is cool.
Training.
We had a bar, so I guess he died. But yeah, pretty fun.
Unit
I mean, the AI is definitely a challenge. Like this is only normal AI, and like,
unit promoted.
yeah, maybe I'm not playing at my best here, but also like
Ready.
for AI on medium, that's damn good. And they've done various little tactics too. I've seen the AI behave in this game in ways where they'll even try like NG or base at different points. So it's never a dull moment, and like you saw how much of a defense we have to put up to hold out. Yeah, GG's interesting. So that's a good look at the Soviet side of things. Alright, next up we're going to try this map, Tournament Terror Redux. We're going to play as France. I want to try out these mobile Grand Cannons, see what all the fuss is about. And I'm going to pick just Libya to go up against, because I think Libya had the demo trucks, if I'm not mistaken, just to kind of get an idea for what a specific faction of Soviet might look like. Because it's kind of difficult to tell, like if you're going against random, who your opponent is when the balance is a little bit tweaked. But yeah, let's try this out and see how it goes. Same settings as before. We'll see we're going as the orange French,
Building.
spawning in the top right of this map. So you do start off with a little bit of power, but not likely enough to get you by with just a refinery.
Construction complete. Building. New construction options. Training.
One thing I learned is that this AI does not mess around, so spamming units right from the get-go seems effective. I also deploy the dogs. That's
Unit ready.
interesting. Maybe it does like a AoE effect on infantry.
Construction complete.
It's definitely different.
Building. Unit ready.
We want to get some pillboxes down.
Unit ready.
Liking the aesthetics of this. Plenty of those old classic posters too.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit lost. Building.
On the move. How about some action?
Construction complete.
Sir, yes, sir.
Unit
On
ready.
my way.
Construction complete. New
This.
construction options. Unit ready. Building. Unit ready. Building. Building.
More power.
Unit ready. On hold. Cancel.
Guess we'll try capture the tech center down here.
Construction complete.
See how that works for us.
I won't be late.
Unit ready.
Right here, sir. Affirmative, sir.
More power. We want to get Air Force Command. See what's going on the map.
Some action. On my way.
Unit ready.
Squared away, sir. Got it. Ready. Double time.
Unit ready.
Destination, Commander.
Oil refinery captured.
Order.
Nice. Oh, this is Sydney Operas.
How about some action?
New rally point established. Construction complete. Unit lost. Unit ready.
So it's like the AI's main target path's going to be through here, so we'll try and reinforce this area.
Unit promoted. Unit ready. New rally point established.
Alright, Air Force Command, get that down, go for the battle lab. Again, we can build Mirage tanks without having
On hold. Cancel.
the tech requirement, which is nice, like the tech requirement of the base game, where I believe Mirage tanks usually need a battle lab to function.
Our base is under attack.
Could be wrong on that, but I think that's right.
Unit ready. Repairing. Structure sold.
We're always going to lose that.
Unit lost. Unit promoted.
Nice,
Unit
nice.
lost. Unit
We should
promoted.
also keep building,
Rally point
get some
established.
Navy SEALs, get a lot of Rocketeers up. Rocketeers are always super useful as allies to have, I think.
Unit ready.
More power, and we'll try get up towards our spy satellite. I think we were maybe sabotaged there. Our power requirement shot through the roof.
Unit ready.
And there's the Libya explosive crates that you gotta watch out for, or the demo trucks.
Unit lost.
Nice.
Unit ready.
So the AI is being smart enough to use its own custom units, which is cool.
Unit ready.
I wouldn't expect any less.
Construction complete. Unit lost.
The Grand Cannons, that's what we're here to test
Unit ready.
with this faction. Let's try them out, and we'll get a spy satellite as well.
Unit ready. Unit promoted. Unit ready. Unit ready. Construction complete.
Nobody here but us
Unit
trees.
ready. Unit ready.
Nice.
Unit ready.
So these can...
New rally point
That's kind of cool. I like that.
Unit ready.
You can't build them in their undeployed state, which is, you know, fair enough.
Unit ready.
That's kind of crazy.
Lost. Unit ready. Building. Unit lost. Our base is under attack.
And you can repair it when it's deployed? Okay, that seems... Oof, that's kind of questionable from a balance perspective, I would say. Like, you ideally, if you can make these mobile, you don't want to be able to repair them when they're, like, deployed. Because then it's like kind of like an invincible tank scenario, right?
Rally point established. Unit ready.
You know, fair enough. I get the
New rally point
get the
established.
purpose, and then when you undeploy it, you get the power back as well. That's nice.
Building. New rally point established. Unit ready.
Deploy this guy. Man, that's kind of cool.
Unit ready. Structure here.
So only the standard GIs seem to be able to go inside these structures, which is, you know, okay.
Unit lost. New rally point established.
We'll get these two up here if we can.
Unit promoted. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. New rally point established.
I mean, it's a pretty fun idea. I'm not gonna lie. Having mobile Grand Cannons.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Send the Rocketeers to deal with these guys.
Unit promoted.
Oof.
Structure abandoned. Our base is under attack. New rally point
Guess
established.
it means this by the base, right? Yeah.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Vehicle ready. Good to go.
Unit ready.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's a fun little mechanic.
Solid as a rock, sir.
Unit ready.
It does feel like it can be exploitable in like a competitive setting, maybe. But they cost so much, you'd probably prefer to have that cash somewhere else.
Unit promoting.
Let's get these over
Unit
here.
lost.
Position data Let's show 'em what we got.
Cannot deploy here. New rally point established.
If we want to get our Conyard up here too, so we can build some like refs on the
Unit
gems.
promoted. Building. Unit lost.
We want to keep building.
Training.
Don't stop building. That would be bad. Map's very cool. I like it. It's got a lot of the kind of general monuments on it.
Unit ready. Unit ready. New rally point established. Unit lost. New rally point established. Cannot deploy here. New construction options.
Cool. Refineries.
Building.
Seems that you can deploy the Mirage tank. I'm not quite sure what it does.
Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit ready.
You don't seem to be able to move it when they're deployed and like group selected like that, which is a little bit strange.
Construction complete. Unit ready. Warning. Nuclear silent detected. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit promoted.
We should move these points
New
up
rally
towards
point
here.
established. Unit lost. Building.
For this as well, should be moved up to here.
New rally point established. Unit ready.
Nice.
Construction complete. Unit lost.
Again, you can build anywhere within this radius, so we may as well pump it up
Unit
there.
ready.
A couple more war factories might be a good idea.
Lost. Unit
We should try and take that out.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
We need anti-air ASAP.
Building. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Although I guess I think Rocketeers can shoot these, right?
Unit lost. Cannot deploy here. Unit lost. Unit
IFV starting to come
Unit
in.
ready. On hold. Cancel. Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Okay.
Building. Unit ready. Our base is under attack.
Move!
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Then I think we just want to bulk up our numbers. Guys,
Unit
chase after
ready.
him, please.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. Unit ready. New rally
Yeah, so the
point
Rocketeer here is able to hit the
Unit ready.
Kirov.
Unit
Oh, well that's unfortunate.
ready. Unit lost. Training. Warning. Nuclear silo detected.
You can still, of course, put these guys inside the IFVs as well, and they do alt fires.
Warning. Iron curtain detected. Unit ready. Our base is under attack. New rally point established. Our base is under attack. Unit ready. New rally point established. Primary building selected. Unit ready. Unit lost. New rally point established. Building. Our base is under attack. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready.
We can build Patriot missiles, of course, as well. After we get this cannon down, we'll build some.
Construction complete. Unit ready. Building. New rally point established. Unit ready. Cannot deploy here. Unit ready. Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unit ready. Our base is under attack. New rally
Nice.
point established. Unit ready. Construction complete.
Good to go.
Unit ready. Building. Unit lost. Training. Unit lost. Unit promoted. New rally point established.
Okay.
Unit lost. Building. Unit ready.
So now we can set up like the Patriot missile defense line here, so any of the Kirovs that go straight down the middle of the map will be taken care of.
Unit
They're
ready.
still quite scary to deal with.
Unit lost. Construction complete. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready. Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. Unit ready. Unit promoted. Unit ready. Warning. Nuclear missile launched.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Repairing. Unit lost.
Lost my collier, or lost my barracks.
Our base is under attack. Unit ready. Construction complete. Unit promoted. Unit ready. New construction options. New rally point established. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Oh, get away from the
Our
explosive
base
truck.
is under attack.
That'd be good.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. New rally point established.
Alright, looking better.
New rally point established. Unit ready. On hold. Training. Unit ready. Building. Unit ready.
Want some shade? Unit reporting.
Unit ready.
Outstanding.
Unit ready. Unit promoted. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Just cause some general chaos here, and I think we'll hop out and try out one of the other factions next. We've kind of seen what we need to see from this. I could build up the force and then steamroll the opponent, but the main thing we wanted to check out here was the mobile Grand Cannons, which are a very cool unit. Like being able to just plop down a bunch of the faces and bring them up to the front of your opponent and start like shooting at their base is like an interesting idea. But yeah, GG's. Nice.
Battle control terminated.
Alright, next up we're going to go as, we'll play as Iraq as the Soviets and go up against Korea. Why not? See if they use the Black Deserts. Eagles. We're going to try this map, Retrocile, see how it goes. It's a snowy map, so a little bit different. Let's see how we get on.
Ready for deployment.
New construction options. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Conyard, I don't know if it's bugging out or what. Thing is building like there's no tomorrow.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. New construction
Is that
options.
just the default I guess this is the default animation. Is for it to keep doing that.
Training. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Send dog to each of the corners.
Unit ready.
Comrade. Da. Comrade.
Unit ready.
Conscript reporting. Order received.
Construction complete. Building. Unit ready. New construction options. Construction
We'll get a few of these battle fortresses down. They seem to have been a requirement the last few times we played the Soviets to just survive. So let's go with that.
Waiting order.
Unit
A few of them going here, a few of them going here. Want to get a bunch more conscripts.
ready.
Comrade. Comrade. Order waiting order.
Another ore refinery.
Ready.
Waiting order.
Our base is under attack.
Da. Vehicle
Nice.
reporting.
Unit ready.
Moving. Vehicle
Unit
reporting.
promoted.
Moving.
Unit ready.
It's a bit of a bigger map, this one.
Unit
Like
ready.
it goes quite all the way around to the edge with like some gems in the corners. It's kind of cool.
Order. Location
I like that.
confirmed.
Unit
Vehicle
ready.
reporting. Moving.
Construction
Ready,
complete.
comrade. Order received.
Unit ready. Building. Construction complete.
Comrade.
Unit ready.
Comrade.
Unit lost.
Electrodes ready.
Structure garrison.
Conscript
Unit
reporting.
promoted.
Connection.
Unit lost.
Yes, comrade.
Unit
Comrade.
ready.
Ready, comrade. Changing position.
Unit ready. Construction complete. Building.
Ready,
On hold.
conscript reporting.
Low
Vehicle
power.
reporting. Waiting
Unit
on position.
ready.
Moving.
Training. Unit ready.
Waiting order.
Construction
We do have these amphibious transports as well, so we could like bring a whole mass of tanks over towards their base pretty quickly if you wanted.
cannot deploy here.
Radar tech.
Unit ready. Unit promoted. Unit ready.
Order received.
Unit ready.
Waiting order.
I think there's some battle bunkers here, just for peace of mind. It'd be good.
New construction
Get the nuke reactor going.
building. Unit lost.
A few flak troopers as well.
Unit ready. Building.
Waiting order.
Unit ready. Construction complete. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit promoted.
Yeah, here seems good.
Structure garrison. Building.
Get some flak tracks down. They're going heavy with the Eagles, which is to be expected, I guess, for the Korean faction.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Desolators. So a faction-specific unit. We'll get a few of those. See how they do.
Ready. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Operation.
Unit promoted.
Nice.
Unit ready.
Tesla coil. And power them up with the Tesla boys. Doing good damage.
Lost. Unit ready.
Comrade.
Unit.
Desolators, I expect, can still do the deployment stuff.
Unit lost.
Prisms have a long range. Wow.
Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit lost.
Some Desolator doing its little pulses of damage, so it seems to go in and out in pulses instead of just a static pure green spot. Whoops. Try not to get all of our own stuff blown up in the process of testing that. Would be cool. Battle lab.
Unit ready. Building. Unit lost.
Oops.
Low power.
Fall back.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit lost. Our base is under attack.
Come on, second reactor. So things seem to take quite a lot of power, or they've nerfed the amount of power that the nuclear reactor gives you.
Building. Unit ready.
We've got the big
Unit
guns.
ready.
Airspeed to maximum. We've got the
Unit
big guns.
ready.
Ah, here they come. So they're starting to come on the side.
Under attack.
With
Unit.
IFVs with engineers. No! Those cheeky gits. Did not expect the AI to do that. That's pretty cool.
Base is under attack. Unit ready.
So, yeah, watch out for the engineer trickery of AI with IFVs. That's kind of cool. It's very, I mean, it's more realistic, I guess, right?
Our base.
In terms of AI behavior.
Unit ready.
Yeah, it's cool.
Unit lost.
I gotta stop doing that with these guys.
Unit ready. Primary building selected.
Alright, I guess we're going with what we have here. We can still build cosmonauts, so we're going to get a whole bunch of those.
Unit ready.
Nice. That'll do it.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Effective.
Unit ready. Repairing.
All systems ready, comrade. Location
New rally point established.
waiting order.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
I guess we can kind of explore the map a little bit more. So you got like a oil tech derrick here. I want to get an engineer, I guess,
On hold.
to repair this.
Unit ready.
Tools ready. Checking design.
Unit ready.
Vehicle reporting.
Couple of V2s in the field now,
Unit ready.
or V3s even. Come on, go repair the bridge. Come on, come on.
Unit ready. Bridge repaired.
Nice. Alright, let's see what's in the middle of this map.
Unit
It's
lost.
it's a big map,
Unit lost.
especially for a 1v1.
Ready. Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Unit ready.
Location confirmed.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Nice.
Changing position.
Unit ready.
Ready, comrade.
Cosmonauts taking on the Rocketeers over here.
Unit ready.
It's
Unit,
kind of cool.
unit promoted.
Still able to squash infantry. It's always satisfying.
Unit ready.
So long as it's not your infantry getting squashed. Them's the rules.
Unit ready. New rally point established.
Artillery. Siege chopper. Checking.
Unit lost.
Ready, comrade.
Okay, so they got some Guardian GIs over here.
Unit lost. Unit
And then of course the main base itself. Yeah, it's a nice map. It's pretty cool.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit
Of course, if we didn't lose our connyard, or if we built a repair bay, I guess we could have built a secondary connyard. And it would be a lot faster because we'd have more war factories, more Raxes,
Unit
all that good stuff to try and keep our production numbers high.
ready.
But I think it's too funny to not show the fact that your connyard can get engined by the AI to not put this in.
Unit
So enjoy the suffering.
unit ready.
Siege chopper. Checking in.
Guess I can
Unit ready.
take a few of these guys. I can hear the Chrono Legionnaire over here.
Unit ready.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Nice.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Do, do.
Unit lost.
Acknowledge. Maneuver props engaged.
So I think all in all, like the mod is very you know, it's quite faithful to the original. Like it's not doing anything too drastic with its rules and art changes. And like some of the functionality they've added to the tanks, like you know, some of them seem to be able to deploy. Like the dogs can do that kind of bark motion. You can have the
Unit
like the
ready.
mirage tree is able to deploy, and it seems to like kind of root them in the ground a little bit, so you can't move them. Unsure if that's intentional or not, but that seems to be the case. There is still the full, you know, fully qualified tech trees in place, which is cool. You have the faction specific units, so like desolators and things like that are still very much a crucial part of the game's balance.
This will be your last moment. Be patient.
Huh, weird, not sure why the AI decided to do that.
Unit ready. Training. On hold.
Mm.
Warning. Weather control device detected. New rally point established.
We'll see how these guys do. They did a hell of damage last time.
Warning. Chronosphere detected. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Target acquired. Airship ready.
So we just send these in as they are. Like I think there's bound to be a couple of rocket guys, yeah. But I think those 4 should be able to take them out
Repairing.
with little difficulties. Like they have a lot of armor, it seems.
Unit
Like I don't think they had this much armor in the base
Unit
game.
promoted. Unit lost. Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Unit lost.
Nice.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Our base
Oof.
is under attack.
Not quite.
Unit lost. Our base is under attack.
But yeah, I think I'll probably leave this match here. You get a good idea in terms of, you know,
Unit
what's
ready.
available. And it's another map that we've had a look at. It's pretty cool. Nice one. GG's.
Battle control terminated.
Alright, for this last match, we're going to try out this map. It's a 4-player map, so you may as well. Go on with 4 players, see what chaos ensues. Give us an idea in terms of what like your allies' kind of build order is like too. What I might do is just pop these down to easy difficulty, just for this last one. Just so we can better have a bit of time to monitor what our ally standard medium behavior is, and also so that we give ourselves proper chance to have a look at the Yuri sub-faction too. So yeah, with that in mind, I think we're good to go. So we're playing as the green Yuri.
New construction options.
Go with the bioreactor. So our allies down here.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
And the pricing for the components a little bit different.
Building.
Get a bunch of
New
initiates.
construction options. Unit ready. Building.
Gatling cannons. Always enjoy using them.
Unit ready. Construction complete. Unit ready.
Gatling
Construction
cannons.
complete. Building. Unit ready.
Try capture the structure in the middle. But I'm not sure we'll be able to hold it. Oh, there's a couple of tech structures here. Okay.
On hold.
1, 2. There's at least 2. Slave miner, get the war factory down.
Is there a problem?
Maybe we can get access to the power drops. That'd be kind of cool.
Unit ready.
And then the tech machine shop. This should repair vehicles. Yes, it is in fact a tech machine shop. Nice. There's some walls here blocking off entrance to the. Oh, it's actually it's a cliff top. Nice.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
War factory. I think we want to get a few of these Gatling tanks up, and then a few of the Lasher tanks. Ooh.
Unit ready.
This might prove a little bit painful to try and hold off.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Our base
Training. Unit ready. New rally point established.
Okay, we're live.
Building. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Construction complete.
No, machine shop's down. That's fine.
Building.
It's fine. We didn't need it anyway, right?
Reinforcement.
How's our AI buddy doing? AI buddy's doing pretty well. He's got very good vision. Wow.
Construction
Nice.
new rally point established.
Get a psychic radar.
Is under attack.
Psychic beacon, I guess, is the tech lab equivalent. It's
Building.
been a while.
Select.
We're getting a para drop. See how that looks.
Unit lost.
Looks like the Russia side here using their Tesla tanks.
Unit ready.
We at least got one drop off of the para drop, so it's something.
Unit lost.
There's our psychic reveal.
Our base is under attack.
Make sure this stuff is repaired. Keep an eye. I think this is the only entrance aside from my allies,
Low power.
who will, I had expected would be able to survive, but
Construction options. Building.
looks like they might not.
Low power. Building.
Get some Yuri clones. Then we can get some cosmonauts.
All miner under attack. Our ally is under attack.
How's the ally doing? Our ally lost their Conyard, so that they proved not very effective in this matchup, and now it's going to hurt a lot. We'll see what we can do here.
Ready. Building.
Not quite sure what happened here, why the AI wasn't able to survive on its own. I guess it didn't build anti-air units when it needed them, which is kind of like, what the fuck?
Unit lost. Building.
We'll see what we can do, guys. Maybe we can hold out somehow.
Hold. Construction complete. Unit lost. Player defeated.
Bioreactor.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Building. Our ally is
We'll be able to hold out long enough to show off the faction a bit, at least.
unit ready. Construction complete. Our base is under attack. Unit lost.
Psychic reveal.
Unit ready. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Okay.
On hold.
Just keep building.
Unit
No
lost.
need to panic.
Unit promoted. Construction
So much for giving myself two, like in the normal AI against the easy AI, it just doesn't compute. We got a little bit unlucky with whatever happened there.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready.
I mean, the AI just seems to be a bit more passive, I guess. It's just not having the anti-air stuff totally overwhelmed the AI ally.
Building. Unit ready.
Cool if they're able to build the cosmonauts as well.
Unit ready. Construction complete.
Probably want to get more,
Unit lost.
get the power back online first.
Under attack. Unit ready. Low power. New construction options. Construction complete. Unit ready.
What else we need? We can get a Yuri primed, capture structures, a bit expensive, probably don't want to really get that. This we probably do want to get.
Unit ready.
Cloning vats. Cloning vats for cosmonauts seems like it would be really good.
Lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Repairing. Our base is under attack. Unit ready. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Repairing. Unit lost.
Nice.
Construction complete. Unit lost. Building. Low power. Our base is under attack. Unit lost.
Ah, yes. The mastermind tanks.
Unit lost. Our base is under attack.
This is not good.
Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Construction complete.
We need to get a few more of these psychic towers back up. Have a mastermind unit now. These are usually pretty good.
Unit lost. Our base is under attack. On hold.
Warmonger.
Training. Construction complete.
Psychic tower here. We got one here.
Repairing.
Genetic mutator is still going. Psychic dominator, we needed one as well.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Construction complete.
We want to stack up our power first though.
Building. Unit lost. Unit lost. Construction complete. Our
AI is pretty smart with the use of the V3s in the back rather than just sending them straight in.
unit ready.
So that's kind of cool.
Our base is under attack. Repairing.
Gatling cannon.
Unit lost. Repairing. Unit lost. New rally point established. Construction complete.
Seem to keep dropping stuff here, so
Building. Genetic mutator.
conscripts can go give us some more power.
Waiting orders. Order received.
Construction complete.
Order received.
Usually, you know, want to use a grinder or whatever to turn them into cash.
On hold. Building. Unit ready. Select target.
Okay.
Unit lost.
I have a mutate ability, so I just need to wait for like a clump of guys to come out.
Unit promoted.
Nice.
Unit ready.
This is more in the way than anything else, so we'll kill that.
Unit promoted. Unit ready. Nuclear silo detected. Unit ready.
Okay, nuclear silo detected.
Unit ready. Our base is under attack. Unit promoted.
We're still building cosmonauts? We're not. And we're not still building tanks. So let's fix that.
Unit promoted. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Let's take out this nuke.
Nuclear silo detected. Unit lost. Unit ready.
See, we're fine up until the point where we run out of cash, which is going to be happening pretty shortly.
Unit lost. Warning. Iron curtain detected. Unit lost. Warning. Iron curtain detected. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Construction complete. Unit lost.
Okay.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Psychic dominator.
Unit lost.
I'm amazed that didn't give me low power. Cool.
Unit ready. Building. Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Unit ready.
Ready, comrade. Location confirmed. I am understood. I understand.
New rally point established.
Ooh,
Ready.
okay.
Select.
I guess mutating their halves is probably a good choice. And it does seem to work.
Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Unit ready. Unit lost. On hold. Cancel. Our base is under attack. Unit ready. Select target.
Think.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
I want to move this up to like here and try push some control of the center
My tools are yours.
because we're running out of cash and I need to do something about it
Our base is under
pretty damn quick.
unit ready.
Um,
Promoted.
My
Our
tools are
base
yours.
is under
I am
attack.
your handyman.
Oil
Technician
refinery
fighting.
captured. Acquiring additional resources. Warning.
My tools are
Nuclear
yours.
missile launched.
that's probably bad.
Base is under attack. Unit lost. Repair.
Got my Psychic Dominator and my Conyard. Cool, 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 cool.
Attack.
Well,
Lost.
so no more extra refs for me.
Training.
Also looks like I'm not going to get access to
Our base is under attack.
a whole bunch of stuff.
Unit lost. All miners.
But it's a good demonstration to show that the AI does not... Oh, my Conyard is here. Oh my, what am I talking about? I just can't deploy there.
Unit lost.
Okay.
Unit ready. Unit lost. New construction options.
Oh, well, now it's dead.
Our base is under attack.
Rip.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. All miners under attack. Unit lost. Repair. Unit lost. All miners under attack. Unit ready. Kinetic mutator ready. Unit lost. Unit ready. Repairing. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Okay, I think we can maybe take out one of these guys with all this, if we're very fortunate.
Unit promoted.
Um,
Unit lost.
Roots, Lasher Tanks.
Unit ready.
Focusing enemy.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
There is much blood.
Unit ready.
Maybe?
Unit promoted. Unit ready. Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit lost. Warning. Nuclear missile launched.
Yeah, that nuke's not going to be launched.
Our base is under attack.
The other allies, though, is... Ouch.
Promoted. Unit lost. Warning.
Oh, and then all of this has died in the process of looking over there.
Unit ready. Select target. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Well, at least we can have a look and see how good the Psychic Dominator is. Except we can't, because they went and used their shielding for it. Are you kidding me? Oh, they won't give a guy a break.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Wow.
Repair. Unit lost. Our base is under
Alright, well that was a pretty fun look. I mean, we got to see all the Yuri stuff in action.
lost. Unit lost.
It was definitely interesting. I was surprised that my AI ally got absolutely destroyed by not being able to deal with some air units from another ally, another AI opponent, but it happens, I guess. It was pretty fun. Yeah, I think we'll probably pop out of this here. It's been 2v1 for a little bit. We held on pretty good, long enough to show off the Yuri faction, and that's what really matters. So yeah, GG's.
Battle control terminated.
And with that, I think that'll be the end of this mod overview. Thanks everyone for joining. I hope that was a good look at some of the changes that this v14.1 mod adds. These 5 maps that we've played through for the skirmishes, again, they're actually up on the ModDB page. You can check them out there. I'll be sure to leave a link below in the description. There's also, of course, be sure to check out the other events during the Ori anniversary. I hope you enjoyed them to date so far, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more on the way to come. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and do all that stuff. It's a big support for me and the channel and all that, and helps me to keep making this content. But aside from that, I'll see you all next time, and have a good one. Take it easy, folks.